Out we go.
Before you even throw the punches, your stance must be right as far as your pivot. Start off with your pivot, get on your pivot, and it's light. The jab goes like this. This is exactly how the jab goes. Jab.
Counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford.
Floyd Mayweather recently visited Terence Crawford's training camp and shared key advice on how to beat Canelo Alvarez. Drawing from his own win over Canelo back in 2013, Mayweather stressed the importance of speed, sharp defense, and precise counterpunching. His visit wasn't just symbolic, it offered Crawford the blueprint from someone who's already done what he's trying to do. With Mayweather's insights, Crawford may gain an extra edge for the biggest fight of his career.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You mention me one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
it's gonna be
you.
me.
I don't care about nobody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stump a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? Same shit everybody else been saying since I moved to 147. I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass, and he gonna be next. Watch.
At a recent press conference, Canelo Alvarez didn't hold back when speaking about Terence Crawford's career. He questioned whether Crawford had ever faced an elite opponent, suggesting that Crawford hasn't yet seen someone at Canelo's level. More than just trash talk, this was a calculated move to plant doubt. Canelo clearly believes his experience and legacy set him apart, and he's eager to prove there's a gap between himself and the rising star.
Best jab.
Crawford.
Best defense.
Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo. And earlier in his career, Canelo. But he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring. But, early in his career, he had a problem with that and was much more comfortable counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size, and as a result, physical strength and punching power. Canelo also has a great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him.
Boxing analyst Max Kellerman broke things down with sharp detail. He pointed out that Crawford's jab is one of the best in boxing today, precise, fast, and tactical. While Canelo once had a similarly sharp jab, Kellerman noted that it's faded over time. Crawford's edge in speed and ring IQ could pose serious problems for Canelo.
People with Canelo before Canelo's last fight, but then after Canelo's last fight, it seems like it's more 50-50 now. So everything is just the build up for that fight is just going to be absolutely magnetizing. Like that fight, it's garnered so much more buzz after Canelo's last fight, and Bud is Bud. He's one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. He is one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Have you sparred any of them?
I haven't sparred Bud yet. I haven't been in Canelo's camp. I've met Canelo a few times. I love Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything you know he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades.
Nico Ali Walsh, grandson of Muhammad Ali, publicly threw his support behind Crawford. He praised Crawford's discipline, skill, and mindset qualities that reminded him of greatness. To Nico, Crawford isn't just a top fighter, he's someone worthy of being mentioned among the all-time greats. Coming from boxing royalty, that endorsement carries serious weight.
Smaller guy, and why do I need to fight this guy? For you, what changed? Tell me about the moment where you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll do this. This sounds like a good idea.
No, if you're thinking about it, look how big turns this fight. It's a big fight. No, that's why made me change. But you know, I've been in his situation before, jumping weight classes, and when you're a good fighter, that doesn't matter. So I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna focus on training very hard because Crawford is a very good fighter.
Yeah, tell me about your experience with that, because now it's reverse. He's coming up in weight. What could be dangerous? What aren't we seeing that maybe you see in this fight?
No, everything. He's a good fighter. Obviously, I know that, and I need to be careful. I need to be careful in everything.
Canelo, for his part, has shown respect for Crawford. He said that at the highest level, weight classes start to matter less because elite fighters know how to adapt. Still, Canelo emphasized that he's taking this fight seriously and preparing with full intensity. He knows he can't rely solely on size or strength. Crawford demands his best game plan.
And Canelo uses his legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself to lift up Bivol like Bivol was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Alvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it, but he is a bull. Listen, Terence Bud Crawford is strong. He is, okay? And he understands leverage, and he understands those things because he wrestled. Honestly, very true. But Saul Canelo Alvarez is also extremely strong. Now, let me know how you feel in the comments below. We're in the zone, war room.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult gave a balanced view of the fight. He praised Canelo's physical power and intense training, but also highlighted Crawford's unique wrestling background, which helps him read and counter his opponents. Showbiz admitted that while Crawford is dangerous, Canelo's experience and natural size give him a slight edge, though he didn't rule out an upset.
Almost made him this great. Do you think that this is a similar thing for your fight now at this point in your career, stepping up and facing someone like Canelo? Does this kind of make you unbeatable and this figure that will just go down in history?
I don't know. I don't know about comparing it to his situation, but it will be a situation where I'll be talked about for many decades to come, and definitely go down in the history books as one of the best fighters to ever lace up the gloves.
That's it for today's video. Whether you're Team Canelo or Team Crawford, one thing's certain, we're in for a historic night. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more updates as the fight draws near. Thanks for watching.